All right, welcome back to the channel, y'all. Listen, who else is ready for this whole Drake Kendrick Lamar lawsuit to just go away? You are? I know I am. We should have left that in 2024, but Drake is all about getting his coins. He's all about getting revenge. He's all about getting what he sees as justice for himself. So he's not dropping this lawsuit. However, he is being warned that this might backfire on him in a big way. And I'm about to explain to you how it might backfire on Drake in a career-ending way. Well, a lot of people have said that his career ended already anyways. I don't believe that. However, he ain't as hot as he used to be. And I know he's feeling that heat. Now, I woke up this morning, the headline says UMG, which is Universal Music Group, which Drake is signed to, that they are offering $250 million for Drake to drop the whole case. Just drop it, walk away, take the money, let it be what it is. I went and did some research, some fact checking. For those of you who have seen it, because quite a few people have been circulating this information online, and a lot of people seem to be believing that it's true. Well, it's not true. Universal Music Group did not have any kind of meeting where they discussed how much they would pay him to end this lawsuit, so to speak. No $250 million was offered to end this lawsuit. So on the lawsuit goes. Shout out to Hip Hop DX. Now, Drake is now arguing that Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl is evidence that he was defamed by Universal Music Group. In an amendment to his lawsuit against his own record label on Wednesday, that's just bad business. You suing your own record label while you're signed to the record label. So there are other things that the record label is supposed to do for you, which I'm thinking they might not do to the fullest of their abilities anymore, since you look like it's bad blood. And as soon as that contract ends, you might be out the door. Or is it a lifetime contract that they have? That'd be interesting to know. When does the contract between Universal Music Group and Drake end? Does it have an end date? So in an amendment to the lawsuit against his own music label on Wednesday, April 16th, Drake expanded his complaint to include events that have occurred since he originally filed that lawsuit in January. The filing singles out Kendrick Lamar's record-breaking Super Bowl halftime show, the show itself. In the filing, it says that that event exposed his diss song, Not Like Us, to millions of children who had never before heard the song or any of the songs that preceded it. That makes no sense. How do you know what millions of children had heard or had never heard before? By the time the Super Bowl came around, Not Like Us was running the place. It was everywhere. So I don't see the relevancy in that piece of addition to the lawsuit right there, but that's what Drake and his legal team have done. So it was the first, and it will hopefully be the last Super Bowl halftime show that was orchestrated to assassinate the character of another artist, is what it says. So Drake is definitely taking this as character assassination. The amendment also points to the fact that Kendrick Lamar actually self-censored the word pedophile while performing the track, using it as further proof of Drake's defamation claims. I don't know how that would be using it as further proof of his defamation claims. When Kendrick Lamar was performing the song and he said, "Say Drake, you best not," and then he goes off into the verse, the part where he says pedophile and he did not say the word while we were watching the Super Bowl, everybody said the word. when he left the word out. That's to show you how popular the song had become. And them millions of kids who Drake thinks had never heard it before, there were equally millions of videos on social media showing young people watching the Super Bowl in their living rooms with their grandparents, with their parents, especially Caucasian children. And they sure as hell said the word, followed by wop, 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 fuck them up. So that shows me that they heard the song before. Anyways, Kendrick's historic Grammy win for Not Like Us, he took home 5 Grammys, man, off of a diss track, something that has never been done before. Well, Not Like Us is also mentioned along with how the diss track was played during that telecast to an audience of 15 million people, which Drake claims could not have happened without the consent of his record label UMG, or Universal Music Group. He's basically saying that they heard the song, they knew that it was damaging to be called a pedophile, and yet still they let it go. And they not only let it go, they took steps to promote it. And they drove it to the top of the charts, right? To his detriment. That's the basis of what he's suing for. Before I go any further with this information right here, right? Drake is actually the first rapper to sue another rapper in a rap battle. Yeah, this thing created history on both sides, because no rap song that was used as a diss track was ever nominated for a Grammy. We go a step further, no rap song that was used as a diss track was ever the winner of 5 Grammys. No rap song that was used as a diss track ever streamed that much on Spotify and on all other streaming platforms. I mean, the song itself, though being a diss track from a rap battle, actually broke, shattered, and set high standards, new records. On the other side, this whole rap battle, now you have the first rapper to ever sue over a rap battle. That's first. Now you have the first rapper to ever sue his own record label over a rap battle. That's second. Well, Drake's lawsuit also alleges that Universal Music Group had their employees use bots to artificially increase the streaming numbers of Not Like Us during their beef. Now, it is said over at Hip Hop DX that although he had that in the original filings, he removed, or him and his team removed that part. The accusation that Universal Music Group actually used bots. But instead, they put in different wording, like third parties were using bots to drive Not Like Us up the charts, and Universal Music Group was aware of this. That's much different from saying Universal Music Group used bots to drive Not Like Us up the charts. I wonder how he knows about using bots to drive tracks up the charts. Could it be that this same favor was extended to Drake at some point in his career with some of his music as well? When it wasn't doing so good, they might have used some bots. They might have did a little payola here and there somewhere. Or does none of this apply to him? Or is he only mad now that the same method was used on somebody else to help somebody else, and it was against him, and it was widely successful? So Drake's legal team said in a new filing that Drake amended complaint makes an early strong case stronger. They said that UMG, or Universal Music Group's PR spin and failed effort to avoid discovery cannot suppress the fact and the truth. Now, quote unquote, with discovery now moving forward, Drake will expose the evidence of UMG's misconduct, and UMG will be held accountable for the consequences of its ill-conceived decisions. Well, listen, UMG, pretty powerful, did not sit by silently while their name was being dragged through the mud. Okay? UMG actually left a response, and it goes like this. Drake, unquestionably one of the world's most accomplished artists, and with whom we've enjoyed 16 years successful relationship, is being misled by his legal representatives into taking one absurd legal step after another. The music giant, UMG, also claimed that Drake and his legal team have quietly dropped their separate pre-action petition against UMG in Texas. Quote unquote, it says, in Texas last November, his counsel, which is Drake's counsel, instituted a legal proceeding with much fanfare and bluster. On Monday, they quietly dropped the case. On other news, in New York in January, Drake's counsel filed a defamation lawsuit, fearful of being sanctioned by the court for asserting false allegations. And then tonight, they amended the complaint to withdraw them, only to add more baseless allegations. UMG's statement went on to actually warn Drake. Now, you know, when your record label is warning you, I smell smoke. Quote unquote, they said 2 weeks ago, his representatives celebrated a win, the granting of a routine discovery motion. That win will become a loss if this frivolous and reckless lawsuit is not dropped in its entirety, because Drake himself will personally be subjected to discovery as well. As the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for. Man, I'll be scared. I'll be scared. I'm on the outside of the industry looking in, but we all remember Prince. We all remember how Prince went against his record label, went against Sony. We all remember how Prince put Slave on his cheek, on one side of his face, got up there at a major award show and said a whole bunch of things. We all remember Michael Jackson going down that same path. We all remember, we could keep going with the names. And then look at what they all have in similarity. They are all dead. And they all died under questionable circumstances. Now, I'm not saying that UMG is going to kill Drake. I'm just saying that's something I would stay away from. Listen, it's weird that somebody is actually in court filing a lawsuit on a diss song. Man, look. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SoFloTV/BrainFLoTv. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.